All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, 6 a.m., August 20th. I'm going to do a Bitcoin analysis and an altcoin analysis for y'all. I'll also explain to you how the macro impact from the dollar impacts Bitcoin and other markets. Well, let's get to Bitcoin, right? All right, so the first thing that I want to show you guys is this footprint chart, okay? And the reason I want to show you this is because it's important to first see exactly where the buyers and sellers are stacked, okay? So on this movement up, right, when price was grinding down, you could see there was a good amount of buyers stacked right there. We can even zoom into that. See, it was right there. Price came down, ripped right through it. Again, price was guided up because there was another big stack of buyers right there. Price grinded back up, again, ripped right through the buys again. Again, there was a big set of buyers right here. Price grinded up, grinded right through it again. So the reason why I'm explaining this to you is typically, if you look back historically, okay, when price is bullish, all right, these walls like this, as you can see, they will help propel price up. See, like this right here, propels price up. It doesn't come right through that. Propels price up. Again, more walls stack up, propels price up, okay? Even over here, right, if you see this big doji, you can see there's a bunch of walls that were stacked right, before price was starting to crash. So the point is that when you start seeing price actually go through the walls, go through the buyers, and then yet not get a good rebound, what does that tell you? Well, that tells me that these buys got absorbed, yet price is not actually moving up and away. In fact, price is actually grinding through those walls and grinding down further. Why is that bad? Well, it's bad because you've now got a lot of buyers trapped from up here, a lot of buyers trapped from up here, buyers from over here. Guess what happens, okay, when price starts breaking down further and further? All these guys who bought right here, and right here are going to get washed out. They're the ones who are going to accelerate this drop down, okay? This is why when you see buys stack up, like these right here, like I just showed you, okay, you want price to start moving away from it. You don't want price continuously grinding down and down and down, because eventually, once price gets a nice little nudge, it's like a domino effect, right? You just nudge it a little bit, it drops maybe $100, and then price accelerates down because all these guys just puke out their long positions, and then price just drops $1,000. This is why you see big, candle drops like, these right here, or these big candle drops. It's because there's so many leverage positions in the market that everyone needs to get out of the exit door, and everyone is crowding the exit door, okay? This is why you see big candle drops. So this is what I'm kind of projecting. If we don't get a bounce up and away from this, I'm probably expecting this thing to maybe have, another big candle down. I don't know how big that's going to be, but this is why I'm going to show you guys a couple different ways of looking at the market. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna show you all this on a 15-minute time frame. All right, on the 15-minute time frame, I've told you before, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I like to utilize these pivots on the 15-minute, hourly, 4-hourly, and daily basis. On the 15-minute, these pivots right here, they change on a daily basis because it's basically the daily pivot, if you will. Right? It changes every single day. It helps you understand key levels for price to hold if it wants to stay bullish or bearish. So you can see right now, price keeps hammering on the pivot. Okay, it's unable to sustain itself above the pivot. Usually when that happens, you should be looking for the S1. Okay, the S1 is right there around $11,530 or so. All right, if you get to the S1, that changes a couple of things, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second in terms of Elliott wave counts. But that's generally what you should be expecting, is if you can't get past the pivot, I should probably expect, or rather we should expect price to get to the S1. maybe even lower, but at least S1 in my opinion. Now it's possible that if we get above the pivot and above this blue line right here, okay, and I'm going to explain to you where I get that blue line from. If we get above that, we should be targeting somewhere around the R1, maybe even this weekly open right here, around $11,926. But for now, price looks pretty weak right here, okay? You can see, we kind of pushed up on the daily open yesterday. We pulled down under the pivot, went above the pivot, failed, tried to get above the pivot, kind of failing again. Maybe if we get like a higher low like this and we start pushing up, yes, it's possible. But for now, price looks generally weak, okay? All right, now I'm going to show you guys something from a wave count perspective. But first, let me explain to you this blue line, the importance of this blue line right here, okay? And I'm going to have to hop on a different chart to show you that because it dates back all the way to August 1st or July 31st right here, all right? And if you look at this line going across, this blue line, it's literally the same thing right here, okay? The fact that we are chopping around sideways on this blue line, you can see all across the board, it's been a key SR level, okay? We're actually coming into it as support right now. Now, at present moment, you can't definitively say that we're particularly bearish because, well, technically on Bitfinex, we're actually above the blue line. Over here, I think we're just slightly below it. So I don't know. I personally think that the fact that the pivot is right there, the fact that we're slightly below the BitMEX blue line, it makes it temporarily bearish. Okay, just temporarily. I guess you can make the argument that, okay, well, on a higher time frame perspective on Finex, we're above that, so we should be pushing up. But let's just say for now, okay, it's possible that we push up, right? So let's look at the wave counts, okay? What do we have in terms of Elliott wave counts that shows us why and how we could be bottomed right here and we could start pushing up? So here's my wave count that I have, right? So I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so that means the 5 wave set right here is complete. Okay, so that means that from here we should get maybe a B, and a C wave back up. Remember, first of all, when you get 5 waves down, okay, you typically can also state that this could be a larger wave 1. Meaning these 5 waves are part of this larger wave 1 in the black count, meaning we're probably trying to finish a wave 2. Now the question is this the top of the wave 2 or could it go a little bit higher? Okay, so let's just say, wave 2 gets us to about this weekly open, maybe slightly higher, okay? And then wave 3 takes us down further, wave 4, and then wave 5 takes us down even further, okay? The one way you can look at this is you could say, okay, from the perspective of just Fibonacci retracements, okay, so we finished, let's see here, let me get this kind of lined up perfectly here. So we finished wave 1. Wave 2, if it's really weak, right, can get rejected right around the 382 fib. Sometimes it gets rejected even earlier than that, like we can literally get rejected right here. Let's see if that's the 236 fib, Let's see, I haven't put down the 236 fib in a while. Okay. So you can see right there, right? The 236 fib is right there, around $11,767. It's possible that we get rejected there. That would be, if this was 1 and this is 2, like let's just say this is the top of the second right here, that would imply that the price is actually really weak because it can't even get a deeper retracement up here. That means there's way too many sellers in the market and price is probably going to break down, meaning it's going to break this low right here. At present moment, I don't know if I can count this as a wave 2. I personally think it's going to go higher, but again, I have no idea what price is going to do. I'm carefully watching it, on an hourly basis and updating my advantage members on exactly what I see. So let's just assume that we finish wave 1 down. Wave 2, we still could be looking for more upside, either back to the 382 fib, maybe as high as even the 618 fib. Okay, it's also possible that, let's just say, maybe this was maybe this was the 3 down here. Let me see. This was the 4, and I'm gonna move the 5 out. Okay, so maybe this is the 4 right here, and then the 5 we still have to come. That's also possible. Okay, but in either case, right, we'd still look for a rebound back up, because if this is the completion of 5 sets down, we have the interior 5 waves down, and then a bigger wave 1 finishing right here, and then a move back up, and then maybe further down. I feel a little bit more confident saying we finished 5 waves down, and maybe we're going to retrace back up. I guess it's possible that maybe we finish right here. Maybe price is just really weak that it can't even get to the 382 fib. If that's the case, and price is really not even able to retrace higher, I would say price is aggressively weak, and we're probably going to sell off much further. Meaning, we temporarily held right just near this trend line right here. Well, if we break down, at the very least, we're probably going to break down to the monthly open, which is around 11,361. And if that does not hold, we're probably looking down here around this 10,950 area, which is this liquidity pool right here, as you can see. The reason I call it a liquidity pool is because you can see all these wicks right here that kind of left, I'm sure, orders behind. And if that's the case, they've left buy orders behind. And then on top of that, whoever's been long up here, over here, all the way up, possibly has a deep stop way the heck down here, right? Because like if price is going to break past this area, I mean, holy shit, it's going to go much lower, But if I were a betting man, I would figure if it breaks this monthly open, I don't know if it's going to get past this, maybe 10,950 liquidity area that fast. Okay, so this is kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Is I personally think that if we do bounce anywhere, it's probably going to be the monthly open. And I've told y'all before, I believe monthly opens, weekly opens are very key levels where you can look out for the price to definitely tag that level before it starts breaking up or down. Like, for example, you can see right here, here's the weekly open. Look, price broke through all the way down to 11,600. It retraced back to the weekly open right there with the wick around 11,926, and then sold off further. See, this is the strength of the weekly opens and the monthly opens. This is what happens with price. Okay, so this is what I'm saying is, if price breaks down, I figure it either bounces off the weekly open at first, or it rips through, comes tested it as support, or rather as resistance, and then sells off further. Either case, I think we might be getting a shorting opportunity. I'm not short yet, but I'm considering it. The only trade that I entered that I told my advantage members about is this Algo trade. Yesterday, I got into this trade around 0.609, and so far it's worked out. So I'll tell you guys about this trade and the reason why I am long in it. That's weird. I guess, I don't know where my drawings went for the chart. Let's see here. Oh, Algo USD, okay. Algo USD. Okay, this is the chart. Okay, so the reason why I went long, in this area right here, okay, and we're up, let's see, from there. We're up yeah, I mean, shoot. I guess we're up, yeah, a good 9%. I thought we were only up 3 or 4%, but that's pretty solid, okay? So we're up a good 9-ish%. And the reason I thought of this is because I was kind of looking at Link in the same manner, thinking that we saw this big base developing, and from it, we broke out, as you can see right there, with high volume. We tested that previous area as support. I don't see why this can't push higher. And Algo is one of those cryptos where I've seen, um, when Bitcoin tends to move sideways, even at times when Bitcoin bleeds down, Algo tends to perform well. And so it's possible that maybe Algo will perform well if Bitcoin does what I was trying to say it might do, which is possibly bleed down further. So keep an eye on Algo. I told my community the details about this trade yesterday. Like I said, already up 10%. I'm looking for some pretty decent targets like 0.75 and 0.90. So, there's still a bit of room like up here. That's another 15, 20%. And then way the heck up here, that's another, I want to say from where we are right now, that's another 40 or 38%. Not investment advice, but hey, I'm in the trade, making some decent money. And just wanted to point that out as free alpha for the YouTube viewers. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, guys, if you do enjoy our content. If you like the information that I give away, you will definitely like the amount of information I give to my Advantage members, because we have trade setups like this pretty much every single day. We have, analysis in the Bitcoin section every single hour of the day, if necessary. If I see something in the market, we have 2 videos a day. So in the morning time, like you're seeing right now, but my Advantage members get that video every single day. And then in the evening time, they also get it every single day. All right. And the reason you're hearing those ticks, I'm not sure if you're hearing those, I like to turn on trading light, and I only look for orders above 250,000. Those are really the orders, in my opinion, that matter. Like, I don't think any other order matters if it's like, $10, $100, or even 10,000. The real big players that are probably moving the market or that can actually make meaningful impact on the market are, orders that are $250,000, $500,000 and up. Okay, so I tend to just ignore everything else as just noise. Here's another thing that I want to talk about, right? ETH. Okay, so ETH has typically given us good signs of weakness or strength, and it helps us understand what BTC could do next. At present moment, ETH is definitely looking weak, but it's not significantly weak, because if you look into this area right here, right, these candles right here, they all face that area as resistance. Okay, ETH is just coming back into that area and testing it as support. I don't see any issues with that. Okay, if, let's just say, ETH starts bleeding down further and further, and it say closes below this line, then we should be a little worried, because then that would mean that probably Bitcoin is going to break down, and probably ETH is going to break down further. Then it's also possible that maybe ETH has created, I don't know, maybe something like a head and shoulders pattern. If, again, that happens. Again, I'm not super concerned about that, like I said, because this is just a bullish retest in my opinion. This is why I've not shorted in size, because there's really no reason to short, right? If I'm looking at the market like this, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is a pretty big movement up. This is just all chop, chop, chop. Even if we come down a little bit, I don't know, I can maybe get a scalp short in, but I'm not going to short this thing thinking we're going to go to 9,000 or 8,000 or further. For that to happen, we'd have to break through these levels like 10.9, 10.5, and then I start considering that. Okay. But yeah, for now, I think we should be still okay. Hopefully this trend line right here holds, and we should be looking for further upside. But I've actually closed out of my BTC longs. I'm kind of just sitting flat, just sitting neutral, and trying to figure out what the market is trying to show me, right? Because remember, at the end of the day, if you're patient enough, if you just wait for the right signs, you will get good trades. More often than not, people are trying to force trades into the market thinking that they have to trade more so they can make more money. In fact, the irony of the market is that it's the complete opposite of that train of thought, which is you have to trade less, wait for the market to give you great signals, and you can make a lot more money. Pretty interesting, huh? So anyway, folks, let me see here if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, so this pivot right here that you see on the hourly, this is the weekly pivot, meaning, this changes every single week. We kind of created a nice base on this pivot. Boy, do I hope we start bouncing off this pivot sooner rather than later. Because if you break it, like I said, you should be looking for the S1 typically, and that's around that $11,300 area, which again happens to coincide with the August monthly open. Okay, I think the thing about that is, if we break through this area down here towards the monthly open, then we've effectively broken past this trend line, this ascending trend line. That's okay because trend lines can be redrawn, the market structure can change, maybe this is a larger reaccumulation period or maybe even a larger distribution, in which case you still get signs or a good amount of time to exit or enter, all right? But just, if you want to keep the momentum up, kind of want to stay above this trend line for sure. Especially now, if the bulls have an opportunity, shoot, I would definitely start pushing up the price from here. Because if it goes lower than this point, then for sure my count of that 5 waves down ending right here is wrong. That means we might have another wave down, or maybe even, like I said, we could be in this is a 1, maybe this is a 1, that was a quick 2, and then that 3 is going to be pretty epic, okay? An epic meaning it could very well be like a $500-700 drop real quick. Because wave 3s, guys, are some of the most violent waves, right? They tend to just surprise the crap out of people. They come in with high volume, and they just kind of torch every single buyer. It kind of sucks, to be honest, but that's just how it is. Final thing I want to talk about. All right, final thing I want to talk about. Gold, okay? And then the correlation of gold with the DXY, the US dollar, okay? Yesterday, I had warned my Advantage members that we started to see the dollar tick up and gold was continuously bleeding down, okay? So if y'all don't understand the relationship between the dollar, the DXY ticker, and gold and Bitcoin, it is this. When the dollar starts gaining strength, equity markets, gold, especially Bitcoin, they are probably largely impacted with a inverse, or rather a negative correlation, meaning as DXY ticks up, gold will start breaking down, and as you can see, Bitcoin has started breaking down. Okay, so point is, if the DXY starts, continuously grinding back up, you can probably expect Bitcoin to break down further. Same thing with gold. The reason I mentioned gold is because Bitcoin, as of late, has been pretty positively correlated with gold, and gold has been negatively correlated with the DXY, and so has BTC been negatively correlated with the DXY. It's not a perfect, one-to-one correlation, nor is it a minute-to-minute. Remember, correlations go in and out, okay? One day they might be completely active, the other day they might not really care. It's all dependent on how the algos are moving, right? We're in a financial trading environment where there are algorithms out there that do all the heavy lifting in terms of movements. And if those algos are programmed to look at the dollar, or they're programmed to look at gold, then BTC is going to move accordingly to those movements. At present moment, I personally think the movement is, like I just explained, as the dollar ticks up, BTC will break down. It's like in March, April, and May, when BTC was going up, it was typically around how the ES, or the S&P 500 futures index, how that was moving. Right now, the correlation seems to be a little bit different. So these are macro things that you guys got to pay attention to, okay? If y'all want more information like that, again, come join the Advantage community. The link is below. $97 per month gets you access to Bitcoin trading section right here, analysis, scalp trading channel, leverage short channel, leverage long channel, and then here's our Bitcoin chat. altcoin chat, and all kinds of altcoin trades that we take on a daily basis. You can see right here in the altcoin chat, we have, especially our queen of altcoin. She's pretty active in the altcoin space. Tons of information that we talk about on a day-to-day basis, even people at nighttime, which is my US nighttime. Very, very active community. So you can see, tons of stuff going on. So anyway, I hope you all join. There's a free Discord link below. We also have a free section right here. Obviously, that is not as fun as the paid side, but I hope you all join either way. Cheers. Have a good rest of the day.